Assalamu alaikum everybody, this is Mr. Mudathir, and in this video we're going to learn about web authoring. In this unit we're going to get back to writing codes or commands with HTML, and this time the thing that we're going to do differently is that we're going to use another language that's called CSS. Yeah, so let's get to it. What is HTML? Everybody knows that HTML is an abbreviation for Hypertext Markup Language. Hypertext Markup Language. It is a text-based language used to develop the content layer of websites. So we use HTML to create websites in simple words. Files are written in HTML using a simple text editor. A simple text editor, that's a software. A text editor can be a notepad, or he's giving us examples over here, or a web authoring package such as Adobe Dreamweaver or Microsoft Expression Web. Well, the simplest one would be Notepad, the regular Notepad that we have on Windows, because you don't need to go online and search and download for Adobe Dreamweaver or Microsoft Expression Web, and you find out that those actually needs purchasing. So the Notepad is the easiest one that you can write HTML code on or using that. Yeah. All right, what is CSS? CSS is an abbreviation for Cascading Style Sheet. Remember that, Cascading Style Sheet. Another text-based language, just like HTML. Styles are created and added to web pages, so we use it to create styles. CSS can be written or embedded into HTML, but it is usually created in a separate file saved with a .css file extension. Well, HTML has the .htm or .html extension, and CSS has the .css file extension. The style sheet is then attached to a web page. Many websites have one or more common style sheets attached to every page in the website. This makes all the pages have a similar appearance with the same font styles and color schemes, and so on. You will also develop your own style sheets using a simple text editor. So we're going to open the notepad and start creating web pages using HTML. But then we're going to embed our CSS code. We're going to embed our CSS code into the same file, or most web pages they have a separate text file for the CSS. Well, let me explain to you the CSS in simple words. Instead of creating lots of web pages and then having to edit each and every text inside of it, you're going to create a small CSS file instead, and have all the font style, the font color, and everything inside that file. And as you create your web pages, it's going to call the attributes of whatever page that you're creating from this file. It makes developing big websites more easier. Yeah, using HTML in the content layer. Well, on this slide, we're going to learn our first HTML tag. While writing HTML, we're not going to just write commands. We're going to write tags. Yeah. All right. HTML tags are shown using angle brackets around them, like this one, the HTML. This is an angle bracket. So this is a tag, and it has an angle bracket around them. HTML close bracket. The angle brackets tell the browser that this is a markup tag and not text to be placed on the web page. The angle tag or the angle brackets tells the browser that this is a markup tag and not to be placed on the web page. So HTML is not actually going to be viewed on the web page. Yeah, it's like a sort of a code that tells the computer that this is a web page and not a text file, right? All right. Where did we stop? The browser does not display the HTML tag, but uses them to display the content of the page. Most HTML commands have two tags, one to open the command and one to close it. Each tag has a pair of angle brackets around it. Now, for each command, most of them, we have an opening tag and a closing tag. Yeah. All HTML pages start with exclamation mark doc type HTML. Well, Probably this is the only tag that you're going to write in caps or in capital letter. Just look at it closely and know that doc type is only written in cap and HTML is not. All web pages start with doc type HTML declaration. And although it has angle bracket is not an HTML tag, this is always the first thing in your markup. The doc type declaration is an instruction to the browser to tell it that the packet is written in HTML rather than another markup language. We have other markup languages, right? So this is just telling the computer that it is a markup language. Which markup language? HTML. Yeah. The first tag that will usually appear in the web page will be the HTML open tag. This is the open tag. This tells the browser that the markup following this tag will be written in hypertext markup language, HTML. The tag /HTML, this is a /HTML, tells the browser that this is the end of this markup language and appears at the end of the markup. So we opened our page with HTML and we close it with /HTML. This tells the computer that whatever comes after this, you don't have to read no more. Yeah, nothing should be written after this. If you had tags right after this tag, it will not be read by the computer and it will not be displayed on your web page. This tells the browser that this is the end of the markup language and appears at the end of the markup. The / shows that it is a closing tag. All other HTML tags and all web page content will appear between these tags, between the HTML and the / HTML. The head and body section of a web page. Well, after opening the HTML, all right, and then writing doc type, HTML, and so on. So then in right after the HTML, we have these tags that we can use. All right. Each web page has two clearly defined sections, the head and the body. Inside the HTML, we have the head part and the body part or the body section, the head section. This will explain to us the head section. The head section starts with head. So we're going to write head right after HTML and close with /head. But then we have things that will come in between the head and the / head. Objects between these tags are not usually displayed by the web browser. Only a few tags are universally accepted within the head section of a web page. These are, first you have the base, then you have link, then you have meta, then you have style, then you have script. The head section should always contain a title. I didn't mention the title. The title should be one of those. This is the name displayed in the browser toolbar. It is the file title used if a page is added to your favorite in your browser and is the title displayed in search engine results. We will study the head section in more details later in this chapter. All right, so you open the HTML and then you open the head and then you have the title. The title appears once you open the page. You have like a tab in the web browser. Everything that you write in between the title will be shown at the top. I'll explain later. Now we're moving to the body section. We open the HTML and we open the head. We closed the head and now we open the body. The body section starts with body, open tag, the opening tag, and closes with / body. And objects between these tags are usually displayed. Whatever that comes in the head section is not displayed. And whatever comes inside the body section are usually displayed in the web page. The basic structure of any web page should be therefore include these tags. Let's go ahead and see. So it is explained right here. Doc type HTML, HTML, head, title. Now you can write a text between the title, opening tag and closing tag over here. You can write the whatever title that you have for the page or your name as an exercise. Then we close the head, / head. Then we open the body, we close the body. This is just an exercise. All your page has to be in between the body and the closing tag of the body, right? And then we have a comment right here. open tag exclamation mark dash dash space text space dash dash close tag. This is just a comment and it will not be shown on the browser. Okay, I'll explain this later. And then you close the HTML forward slash HTML. This will open up a page with nothing but a title, web page name over here. Yeah. Insert tag for the head section goes here in between the head and the close head, right? And insert objects to be displayed by the browser in the body section here between the body and the body. Now, let's learn how to add a comment. Usually in every HTML tutorial, they start with adding a comment, which is, believe you me, it's very useless. I don't know why I'll be learning this. We write something that's not going to be displayed. Uh, Programmers use this so that they can tell themselves when they have like large bulks of texts or codes, they leave comments for themselves that is not displayed. For example, I can say that this is the beginning of my web page, or maybe this is a function that I'm going to create for the password, and so on. So they leave comments. Programmers leave comments, or web designers leave comments for themselves. But then every single tutorial or book that I open that teaches HTML and CSS, they start with creating a comment. All right, adding comments to your HTML markup. Comments can be added to your markup if there are notes that you wish to make but not display on the web page. This is very useful for making sure that your name, center number, and candidate number are on every web page. All right. So now he has a point over here. Why comments are important when you're sitting for the IGCSE exam, you may want to write information about you as a student in a comment because sometimes they're going to ask you to create a web page and take a screenshot or print out the code and not the page that you're creating, right? All right, so you can use the comment to have your name, center number, and candidate number, your own student number. The center number is like the school number because every school that is considered an official center has a number, and then a candidate number. Once you register for the IGCSE, you will be getting your student number on every web page. All right, so now you know comment starts with open tag exclamation mark dash dash space and ends with dash dash close tag. As the comments do not affect the markup, they can be placed in the head or body section and before or after any tag comments look like this. So you can write this comment in between the body. It would be even more better to understand. Why did he write the comment after he closed the body? It makes no sense because he knows that it's not going to be displayed. So he kind of like wrote it right after he closed the body tag. But usually we write comments all the contents of the web page in between body, the opening tag of the body, and the closing tag of the body. Applying tags to text in the content layer to display predefined text. Text is organized into paragraphs. Now we're moving on to more tags. Now we're learning more and more tags. Yeah, we've finished with the basic tags. Now we're getting into the next step, which is text is organized into paragraphs. With the paragraph style applied, headings usually have different styles to the paragraph style. All text added to a web page should have a tag telling the browser what text style should be applied. There are a number of predefined styles available for use in the web page. The normal paragraph style is obtained using P. The normal paragraph style is obtained using P. So P is for a paragraph. When you want to start writing a paragraph, before you write the paragraph, you write P and end it with P. Yeah. Likewise, now he's going to explain to us when we want to write a headline, a title, for example, to your page. Six headline styles. We have six headline styles are available and are defined with the style name H1 to H6. H1 and then write the style that you want and then close the H1. Yeah, it should be in between. H1 is like the largest font, the font size. and 6 is the smallest. We have H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. H6 is the smallest headline size that you can have. Each item is a bulleted or numbered list that can be defined with a LI. Now, this is for if you're having a list, a bullet list or a numbered list. You will have a tag that has open tag li closed the tag. Li is short for item, list item, so that you can remember that. P is for paragraph, H is for headline, Li is for list items. And they finished with slash Li. There are more details in as we go on. Yeah. All right. So in this page or the HTML text that we have in front of us, we have created a basic HTML page. This would be your exercise, but we can add more to it. In this text, we have H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. Yeah, I don't want to explain to you everything that we have studied. The doc type, HTML. He had a comment over here. He has a comment over here, and then he has the head, and he has a title. You can replace the title with whatever you want. And then we close the head, and then we started the body. In the body, we start creating whatever we want inside the web page right here. This is the closing body, right? So what do we have inside the body? First, he started writing a paragraph. My first web page by my name. So you can exercise by saying my first web page by, then you replace my name here with your name, and then close the P. Actually, I made a mistake. There should be a forward slash here in the P. So we obtain using the P and ended with slash P. Yeah. So we open the paragraph. You can have as many lines as you want, as many words as you want. It's your paragraph. Once you're done with writing your paragraph, sorry, then you close it with forward slash P. Now, this is a test to show you how big each and every, or what is the size for each and every headline. Yeah. So he had the headline one. This is a style H1, the largest heading style, and then we have the second largest, the third largest, and so on till the smallest heading style. This is style H6, the smallest heading style H6. Now he opened another paragraph, and then we have this is style P, the paragraph style, forward slash P. Then he closed the body, and then he closed the HTML. All right, saving an HTML document. We all know how to save any document or any project that you have. It's always good to create a folder and keep all your work. This was supposed to be work. All your work, all your pages in one place. So before you write this document, create a folder either on the desktop or go to the Drive D, and then create a folder with your name or with the name of your project if you have already set what your project is going to be. Once you write your document, click File, Save. Some people click File, Save As. But then the first time you want to save a document, you press Save, right? The Save window will open. Locate the folder first. Open the folder that you have created first, whether it was on the desktop or on the Drive G. And then, oh yeah, and then you need to enter the file name for the web page. Enter the file name for your web page. This file name must be saved with .htm extension. So we're going to open file save, locate where we want to save it on our folder, and then we're going to write the file name plus .htm or .html, whichever you prefer. Okay, if you do not use a .htm extension, this will operate as a text file rather than as a web page. So if you don't write the .html, it's going to be opened in the notepad as a text file, and it's not going to be opened on the browser. All right, it's explained here in more details. The file should appear in the File Explorer window and may look similar to this. If your default internet browser is Internet Explorer, it's going to show this E, yeah, because you saved it .html. But if your browser is Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Safari, or Firefox, it's going to be instead. If the file cannot be seen, move to the other task folder, the one that you created, not the task, the folder with your name or the name of your project. Make sure that the file displays the browser, usually the either this or that symbols to show that this is a web page and not a text document with a this. If you didn't write .htm, it's going to be shown as a text file like this. The text document simply forgot to add the .htm file extension. All right. The last thing that we're going to do now, and this is just an introduction to an HTML, we're going to know how to add a superscript and a subscript to our document. Okay, on the same page that we saved earlier, we're going to move the cursor into the text editor window and make all the following changes to the markup. First, we're going to replace this with your name over here. My first web page by your name here. Okay, and then place the tag sub and /sub around the number 3. Over here, we opened a paragraph and we said text can be superscripted like X. Please be careful, write it as it is. X, open sup tag, and then write 3, close sup tag, and then close the paragraph. This is what you're going to do. Yeah? And then place the tags sub. This is sub. Yeah, that was sup, and now it's sub. So open paragraph. Text can be superscripted. That was superscripted, and this is superscripted. Like h sub 2 close sub o close the paragraph. Yeah. You may notice that all text within the head and body section is indented to make it easier to identify where each starts and finishes. Indent means having a space at the beginning. So this one has like 4 spaces here, and then it has around 6 or 7 spaces over here. It's just telling us that this is the HTML, and this is the head tag, and this is what's inside the head tag. Now, the body and the head are on the same level over here, but then everything inside the body has to be indented. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're gonna have the body in the same level here. This is just how programmers organize their work. We actually have software that can do that for you. All right, so this will be your exercise. Go create first create a folder with your name, yeah, and apply the main HTML tags, doc type and HTML, and then let's try the title over here inside the head, and then create a body tag over here. Again, write a comment just so that we can learn how to write a comment. It might be useful if we are if we're going to provide our information while taking the IGCSE exam. Now, create a paragraph, okay, and create a headline. First, create a headline with H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6, and then create the paragraph. Instead of creating an empty paragraph, you have a paragraph over here. But instead of creating a paragraph, I'd like you to use the sub and the sub. Yeah, try the superscript and the subscript. Yeah, yes. So this is a superscript and that is a subscript. And close your HTML tag and run the file. I have utter faith that you guys are going to do this. It's going to be very easy, and this would be your first lesson in web authoring in the IGCSE curricula. See you in the next video. Take care.